Hi, this is Israel Silva, and welcome to the Increase Your Income Challenge. Increase Your Income Challenge. I'm so excited. Thanks for all the people joining on YouTube, and don't forget to hit subscribe. This is week 2 and day 8 of the challenge, and there's so many things I wanted to go over. I wish I could record a video every day, but I'll be putting more in my emails, going out, join our newsletter. That'd be the best thing you can do. And really just excited to have you with us. With this lesson's called Leadership Setting Goals. Setting goals, that's what we're really going to focus on today, setting your goals. And I guess I have to ask you this question, and you might think about this. If you're going to take a trip, a vacation somewhere, you're going to ask yourself the first 2 questions. Where do you want to go? Where do you want to go? Like some people say, I want to go to Disney World and see Mickey and Minnie. I want to go there. Or I want to go to Disneyland. Now, might have a 6-year-old like I do, and you say Disney World, Disneyland. They don't know if that's a different place. But you know it's a different place. Disney World is in Orlando, Florida. Disneyland, there's one in California. There's one in Paris. There's one in Japan, all over the place. But you need to ask yourself is, where do you want to go? That's the first question. Because when it comes to increasing your income, where do you want to go? How much do you want to increase it? And the next question is, if you're going to take a vacation somewhere, where do you want to go? Okay, you answered that one. I want to go to Disney World in Orlando, Florida. Then the next question is, how are you going to get there? How are you going to get there? That's the how-to question. How are you going to accomplish this? How are you going to accomplish reaching your goals of increasing your income by 20,000, 50,000, 200,000? How are you going to do that? That is so important, is to have the vision, where you're going, and then the goals. How are you going to get there? Setting these things up. So it's really, really excited about that. And that's what we're talking about today. Now, we are in the challenge. This is called the Increase Your Income Challenge. And we've got some rules in this challenge. The first one is you need to use content, community, and the challenge game format. And we'll be talking about that here pretty shortly in this teaching. But those are things that we were talking about. Content, I'm delivering the content. Community, that's either with us or with your friends, your own community that you're doing this challenge with. And then the challenge game format, we're going to talk about that. And we're following like the super better method from Dr. Jay McGonigal. Now, commit to the challenge. That is something you have to do. I mean, you're listening to this. I hope you're listening to this on YouTube or listening to it live or on video. But can you commit to this? Because it takes work. You're not going to change. If you keep doing the same thing, you'll keep getting the same thing. But if you want to change, now's the time. Step up to the challenge. And so commit to it. Number 3 is work in community. Since this is challenging, since this is hard, you need to have people help you, and you need to help others. That is the iron sharpens iron, people sharpen people part. Work in community. And number 4 is you need to track your progress. It's not just to say, I'm going to do this. I'm going to go somewhere. I'm going to go to Disney World. You have to track where you are. Okay, I'm in Houston today, and I want to be in Orlando in 1 day or 2 days if you're going to drive. If you're driving, then you're going to pick destinations. I'm going to drive to this location, then get fuel up with gas and get some snacks. I might even have to stay at this hotel because I don't want to drive more than 8 hours and stay in a hotel and then pick up the next day. These are some things you have to do. This is the tracking your progress to make sure you're staying on track to reach your goal in the time you set. Number 5 is you need to help others. And again, that's helping other people fuels you up. So that's part of this challenge, not just doing it for yourself and I'm going to have this increase in income, but finding a way to help others. Number 6 is celebrate your victories. We have to celebrate when we're going along the way because every little small victory adds up to the big victories. So that is the rules of the challenge. Today, you're going to learn. What are you going to learn? How-tos. I want you to learn some how-tos with me. How to use your why, your purpose, to create your vision. How to use your why and your purpose. We talked about in our first lesson, the why and the purpose. We're going to dive a little bit more into that. And then number 2 is how to use your vision that you've created to create your epic goals, the epic goals you want. And in this challenge, we're talking about the epic goals of increasing your income. And for number three, what we're going to learn is how to use your epic goals to then create your action steps. And the action steps are your strategy, your tactics. These are the things you're going to have to do to increase your income, to reach your epic goals. And to once you reach your epic goals, then you'll fulfill your vision, your purpose. And that's what we're trying to do. They're all kind of fall in line, and we need to define each one and go from there. So that is what you're going to learn today. Any questions on that? That's really what we want you to understand. We're going to take that. Now, I'm going to stop and say, did you do your homework last week? Did you work on your why? Did you work on your purpose? You see, maybe you needed that email reminder from me or that text message nudge to tell you, hey, don't forget to work on your why. Don't forget to work on your purpose. It's easy to do that. It's like an assignment. Like, where do you find the time to do this? Now, last week, I had a form that I gave you. If you looked at the message on YouTube, I had a link for the transformational commitment. To transform, yes, you have to make a commitment. And I really, really want you to do this. That's why this content's free, because I want you to learn. Regardless if you're in the community with us, in the paid community, or you're just a part of our free community, please take it on the challenge and fill this purpose worksheet out. It's really simple. It's only person really grading it is you. And so I'm going to kind of share some of what I've been working on. I love to just read this again, the why and the purpose. The what is the purpose in achieving your financial goals? Determining your purpose will require transformational commitment. Be specific to integrate the use of your gifts and your talents. Use these spaces below to brainstorm and to weigh out your passion, to weigh out your skills and your areas that you provide the greatest service to others. Now, I remember a scripture that really stayed with me, and it was a scripture that said, the greatest among you is a servant of all. And I tell my 6-year-old all the time, if you want to be great, you're going to have to serve great. Serve greatly. Maybe that's a proper adverb there. If you want to be great, then you have to serve greatly. And that is the key to becoming and achieving something great, is how well are you going to serve people? If your goals and your vision is just about you and what you can achieve and you have stuff, that's probably a very short vision. It's a very minimal. You can do greater things. And I love John Maxwell. He said that when you have significance, once you taste significance, success pales in comparison. And significance is when you're not only successful, but you help others become successful. And so that's a real big part of this. And so showing this to you, I wanted to go into my own vision, because I can't teach unless I try to do. And that's what I'm trying to do, is teach you what I've been learning along the way. And so I kind of worked on this myself. This is just me. And, again, to create, and you can read this well, hopefully with me, I just have a couple here. So one of my purposes is to create a community where people can learn together, they can collaborate and achieve their financial goals together. I don't know about you, but working on your finances is really daunting by yourself. There's no one to say you're doing it right, you're doing well. I mean, it's a very private thing most of the time. So I'm trying to create a community where people can learn together and encourage one another and collaborate. That's one key thing. So that's one of my purposes. And then I put in my passion. I have a high passion to do that. That's 10 out of 10. My gifts and talents, I'd say I'm a 7 on teaching, and I've been doing that for many, many years, but I can get so much better. And I know I have some gifts and talents there, and I can work on those and hopefully become an 8 or 9 or 10. And it's possible, but it's not going to happen unless I keep working at it. And then on a scale of 1 to 10 for service to others, I believe I can serve you with this. And it's really what I want to do, is serve you with this. And so you add those total together and they score up to 27 out of possible 30. Now, just to tell you about the brainstorming process that I was doing here, is I had another why, another purpose. And I had another purpose to write a book. And I want this to help people and write it so that they can learn how to do their personal finances. And my passion to achieve this is not a 10, it's a 7. It's because I sometimes struggle with the discipline of sitting down and writing and writing and writing, but I can turn on the camera and just talk to you. But writing's not always been my strong strength because I'm so slow at it. So I probably need to work at just recording the video and then transcribing it and doing all that. But that's a process. But my passion's more to work in the community with you and to coach you as a group and work that way. So I have more passion to be a community leader than I have to be a writer. And so that's one of the things I'm looking at. And then the gifts and talents. I'm not sure I'm the best writer. So maybe I'm a 5 there. I feel like I'm better at teaching it in a 7 there. So you can see how I'm doing this. And then service to others. Yeah, if I had a book, maybe I shouldn't put a 10 there. Maybe I should put like an 8 because if I'm not the best writer, it might not be the best content. So then I add, this doesn't do it automatically, so you have to do it yourself. So 7 plus 8, that's going to be 20. 12 plus 8 is 20. And if you compare these two, you score these up, and then you think, okay, Israel, what do you need to focus on? Do you need to focus on writing a book or doing a community? Or try to do both. Now, do you really think community, do you really think if I do both that I'm going to be successful at it? How many people can catch two rabbits at the same time? You go, or 2 chickens, like Rocky Balboa. Chase the chicken, Rocky. That's Rocky 1 for the older people who remember that one. But, that's a thing. You can't chase 2 rabbits. So I have to pick one of these. And I choose to pick the first one to be a part of this community. That's my purpose. That's my why. And that's why I'm doing this. That's why I'm teaching you this. So that's part of this. Okay. Now the next page are the steps. And we're talking about that. So I'm going to go back before I go into that. Let me go back to my presentation here and let's continue on this. Before I go into that, before I go into those steps, vision board. Now, you can create a vision, write it down, or you can create a vision board. And that's something you do here. You want to put something, I want to travel here. I want to keep a certain exercise. I want to get a certain vehicle. I want to get a new home. I want to have certain friends and have certain savings for retirement. I want to have a certain career in the online business. I want to do all these great things. Dream big. It's really important that you dream big. And I used to hear all the time, it's like, shoot for the stars, but if you don't make it, you might make it to the moon. You have to decide that I'm going to dream big and see things bigger. Because thinking small doesn't let you push yourself to your greatest heights. That's what we want to do. We want to think big and understand that no matter what we do, we have it in ourselves to do greater things. And I just really looking at that. And so I want you to create a vision board. I've got some teachings and I'm going to post this one on YouTube. It's how to create a vision board. I did this one a couple years back. So it's still great teaching and I'm sure I can still improve on it, believe me. But I really want to encourage you to create your own vision board. It's something I can show you mine here real quick. Don't get embarrassed. I'm showing you my screen here. So let me go here, and this is a little bit outdated. So I'm going to talk to you. This is my 2023 one, but I'm working on a 2025 one. Actually, I need to update this every year, not every 2 years. But relationships I had here, service I had here, honor God, health and fun, and so that was my vision, is to continue to touch and talk to these people, my family. And then my service is to write books. And I'm updating this again for 2025. I'm going to have more of the community. Again, this is the vision board. And of course, honoring God, that's what I want to do, teach. And I was part of the financial ministry in my church. And I'm now just doing this exclusively. So I'm not part of that ministry anymore, but I support it, still believe in it, still encourage people to go there. But I'm doing more of this community. Again, I couldn't chase 2 rabbits. So I had to stay with this one. And again, maybe my health and fun, that's not my body, but that is my head. And hopefully that'll be my body someday. So you get the idea, right? Guys, this is a vision board. It doesn't have to be on physical paper. You can do it on your computer. You can do these things. I mean, come on, it's have fun with it. Again, to make this fun, be creative. Think outside the box. Don't say, oh, I don't have the education. I'm too old. I'm too young. I don't know. What do I do? it's just time to just have some fun with this and see where you can go. So this is the vision board. I really I want to encourage you to do this and try to get that vision board going. It's part of this challenge to yourself. Challenge yourself. Commit to the challenge. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this vision board, and I'm going to work towards achieving my goal. So I want to stop and ask you, do you really have you spent time working on your vision? Have you thought about your why and your purpose? My goal has always been to do my best and to help others do their best. And the way I challenge you right now to do your best is look within inside yourself. Think about what your purpose is. What's your why? You want to help your family. You want to help your community. You want to do something great for your church or your nonprofit. What is it that you want to do? You can do all things. I always say it, my faith, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. That's what you have to have, that faith to go out and do these things. And you start going that way. As a small kid, I wanted to go to college, and I did. I said, well, I want to go into engineering. And it was scary because I was like, I'm not really much of an engineer. I don't know, but I did it. I did it scared. I did it with faith. And so that's what it's going to take. Put it on the vision board, and don't be embarrassed. I mean, you don't have to share with the whole world like I'm kind of doing that, but just share with those that you believe and you trust in. So that's the vision board. Now, I want to talk about your epic goals. See, once you have your vision, kind of like I just told you about my community, now you have to set your long-term goals, which it could be 5 years, 10 years, even 20 years if you want to go that far. Then you have your short-term goals, 1 to 3 years. And then you have your immediate goals. And I'm saying 90 days or less. And what's that immediate goal? And then make your goals smart. You kind of heard that cliche, but it's so, the truth comes out. Smart is specific, measurable, attainable. We'll talk about that a little bit. Attainable, realistic, and timely. Smart goals. Now, why do you want to do these things? Why do you want to set these long-term goals? Because you need direction. When you start thinking some long-term goals can be, I want to buy a house and I want to buy it in 5 years. Now, most people say, I want to buy a house next year or this month. interest rates are going down. I'm going to buy it. But the thing is, you have to set a realistic goal, and you may need 20% to have this down payment on this house. And when you set that goal, that long-term goal, your life, your actions, your decisions, they all focus around reaching that goal. They should, if you're serious about this goal. This is your epic goal. You need to write it down. And it's really important to write these down, because if you don't write them down, they just become a wish. And so I've heard it said that a dream without a plan is just a wish. So you can dream for a new house. You can dream for that fully paid retirement. You can dream for having that business that you've ever wanted. But the dream without the plan is just a wish. And so stop wishing and join me in this challenge to commit to writing down your goals. I mean, your 10-year goals. I mean, where are you going to be in 10 years from now? A lot of times people just think about where you were 10 years ago. Are you happy where you were 10 years ago compared to where you are now? I mean, 10 years ago, you might have been in high school. You might have been in college. You might have been, in your 30s. Now you're in your 40s. Are you happy with what happened? If not, you can't change the past, but you can change your future. And it starts by setting goals. Now, the long-term goals, again, things like your career, your home, your retirement. And then the next thing is short-term goals. And short's, relatively 1 to 3 years. A short-term goal can be, I'm going to, lose 20 pounds, lose 30 pounds. I can do that over a year. That's a physical goal. A career income goal may be that I want to increase my income by 20,000, 50,000, 100,000. You can do these short-term goals, but you have to be clear. What is it going to take? Going back to school, getting a certification. It's important. I love my wife. She's been doing great things in her life. She's always an inspiration to me. But one thing she always told me, she went after her associate's degree, and she's going after a bachelor's degree. I'm not sure she'll get her PhD, but she is committed to education. and to setting an example for our son and her nephews and nieces that she's going to continue to always improve her education and get that degree. And even though she's working and she's a mother and she's a daughter and she's a wife, she is a student as well, always learning. So it's a short-term goal. Hey, get this degree, get the next one. You reach this goal and you're like, I'm not, you don't tell yourself I'm done. No, you go to the next step. And so that short-term goal is something you can do over the next year, 2 years, 3 years. And it may be, saving the money you need to go to school, saving the money to start the business. That is the thing you need to do very clearly. Now, the third thing here is immediate goals, 90 days or less. 90 days or less. And that's where this challenge comes in, because I'm going to help you set some 90-day goals. Now, this is week 2. So if you missed the first week, go see the video. But you can continue on because we're really going to get into the meat here and set these immediate goals of what I'm going to do in the next week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. And I'm not going to sit here and tell you that you're going to increase your income $100,000 in 90 days. But I can tell you that you can start, they always say shift your degree, your vector is what they call it. I'm an engineer. And so in engineers, vectors have direction. And so if you're like an airplane pilot, if you're off 1 or 2 degrees, you could end up in another city. But if you want to change your income, you have a certain direction right now. But change it 1 degree, 2 degrees. And the next thing you know, if you're going in the right direction, you will reach it. Over the next 90 days, within these next 12 weeks, you can change your direction. And once you change your direction, now it's just a matter of creating the habits, the systems, and working with others to reach that goal. But you're going in the right direction. So choose to do that. Your immediate goals are about changing your direction and make them smart. Again, specific and measurable. We're going to talk about that. Now I'll go back to my own item here that I was working on and show you my steps, because these are working on steps. So what I want to do is, I talked about my purpose here, what I want to do, and then now I'm going to go over some of the steps that I'm doing. Again, this is just me. And some of the steps to reaching my purpose is I need to launch an online community site. I need to deliver content on a regular basis. I need to provide content and guidance to my community. That's you. You're listening to this. I misspelled launch. So launch the 90-day challenge. Guess what? That's what I'm doing right now. I'm taking the steps. And I did this on September 7th, 2024. That is when I did my first challenge. You're witnessing this. And I'm going to complete this in December 14th, right before Christmas, this 90-day challenge. We'll do another one next year. And every 90 days or so, we're going to do at least 3 a year, these challenges. And I challenge you to stick with us and continue, because we're going to get better at bringing you content. But this is what I'm doing. I'm telling you specifically the steps I'm taking and my expected results to see my community reach their epic goals. I want to see you. If you plan to change your vector just a little bit and to start going towards increasing your income by 20,000, 50,000, 100,000, I'm going to help you accomplish that. That is my expected result, is to see you achieve that. Now, some of the steps that I had to do is create a website, develop a platform. And I actually started this in 2019 on this particular subject of creating a community. I know that's a while, huh? 5 years. It's been ongoing, but I do see that we do now have a site called financialchampionacademy.com, and you can go there, and that's the community we have built. And financialchampion.net is the website, and I have resources there. Again, this is what I've been building for a while. And people say, oh, success happens overnight. Not really. It just takes 20 years to become that overnight success. And I was been teaching actually 20 years on the finances in my church. And now after doing that, now I'm helping you and teaching you. And so it's taken a lot of work to get here. And I have not arrived because I'm just actually getting started with the steps to reaching my purpose. And that's why I share this with you. These are some of the steps, some of the how-tos, and then these are some of the results. Now, I don't know what's wrong with my spreadsheet here, but it got really small. my form, but I'll read it to you. Specific result to see once purpose is fulfilled. So once I reach my purpose, I would see people, my members, achieve at least one of their financial goals. And that's achieving the 20,000 increase, the 50,000, 100,000 annual income increase, $1,000,000, whatever that is. I want to see you achieve it. That is one of my specific results that I want to see. And then it tells me what skills or habits will you have had to develop. Okay. Become a millionaire, not for the $1,000,000, but for what it will make of you. And that's what this question is about. What skills are you going to need to develop to actually achieve your purpose, to achieve your goal? So for me, I will have to become a better speaker, a better teacher, a better videographer and website developer. Now, I am trying to hire some people out to do some of these things, but for now, I am the one and all person who does them. So it is a lot of work, but that's what I'm here to do, deliver the content. And eventually, people will join me. People will contribute to the community. I'll be able to hire more people and do more. And so these are the things I have to do, the skills and habits I need to develop. What about you? What do you want to do? What do you want to become? Maybe you're in your job right now and you want to go to a higher level in your company. You're an individual contributor and you want to become a manager. You want to become the director. Hey, why not? Vice president, CEO, COO. What is stopping you? Your mental limitations. I know my wife, your quick story. I remember telling her, hey, this other person, they just got promoted to manager and I'm just the project manager. I'm just the individual contributor and they made manager and they're 10 years younger than me. And I was just like, and my wife, Monica, looked at me and she said, I have not heard you say that you want to become a manager. Do you want to become a manager? And she told me like that. And I was like, yes. And she goes, well, then why haven't you said that? Why haven't you prayed about that? Why haven't you thought about that? Why haven't you declared that? And she said, say it with me. I want to become a manager. And I was like, okay, Monica, I want to become a manager. And when I did that, it clicked in my mind. I'm no longer going to be just an individual contributor. I'm going to be a manager who helps people and serves other individual contributors and helps empower them to be better. And it wasn't until Monica, she really helped me to realize things don't happen accidentally. You need to be intentional about what you want to become. And I like it this way. It's have, do, and be. So write those things down. Have, do, and be. What do you want to have? What do you want to do? What do you want to become? Those are three things you really need to have in your mind when you're thinking about your vision and your goals. And so then this third one is, what impact has this made on you and other people? And that's what I'm talking about, this community. I know for the rest of my life, this is what I want to do. I want to teach and help build this community. I want to help you reach your goals, your financial goals. And, I bet part of this thing is when you get better at one thing, you get better at other things. I want to help you reach better health goals, relationship goals. If you stick around with this community, we're going to encourage you, because I am going to make that the most important thing, is encouraging each other to reach your epic goals when it comes to your finances, your relationships, your health. Because you know what? It's all tied together. It's all tied together. Your relationships at home and at work have everything to do with your income, because it's about serving other people. And you start with serving your family. You start with serving those that are close to you. And then you serve other people in your community. And then you serve strangers like myself, teaching you right now. And those are the things that, you're going to make the impact. So I want to see this impact on people. And I will continue to do this. This is what God put as a calling in my heart to do. And I finally feel like I have the purpose and I have the platform to do this. So again, just like I wanted to become, when I was in my job and I wanted to become a manager, I had to first say it. And now I'm saying it to you. I want to be a community leader. I want to help the community grow and help the people in the community increase their income, take their finances to the highest level. That is my purpose. I'm declaring it to you. You're my witness. And so again, these are the things you need to do for yourself. Let me go back to our presentation here, getting close to the end. And your action steps. Think about it like this. It's a quest. Right? Your milestones. It's the major milestone to achieve your epic goal. So what is that epic goal? Is it to get a degree? Is it to get a certain income? Is it to start the business? You have to set milestones. Just like you're going to go travel to Disney World, where are you going to stop at? Where are you going to stop and say, I've reached a milestone? And then you know what? Celebrate the milestone. That's really, really important. Celebrate. I'm here. It took work, but I got to this point one, and I need to get to point two and point three. And then when I get to point 10, I will have achieved my goal. And you know what? Success is not about reaching point 10. Success is about having the courage and the wherewithal and the consistency to go from point one to point two to point three to point four to point five and have fun along the way, knowing that you're fulfilling your purpose, you're serving others. And when you hit 10, yes, celebrate it. But it's not about just, I had the victory. No, it's about everything it took, all the people you worked with, everything it took to get to 10, to point 10, to get to the celebration of the victory. But that is what makes you great. It's staying consistent. It's self-discipline, consistent self-discipline to stay on track and to stay with the challenge. So action steps are the tasks that you must take. That is everything you have to define. So in our community, we're going to end this lesson right here, but I'm going to stay with my community. We will work on these steps. We'll go through it. So I encourage you to get with your friends. If you're not part of our community, get with your community of friends or your family members and start working on the steps it takes to reach your epic goals. Again, this is the format that we're using. So we talked about, challenging yourself with a vision and your purpose, setting your epic goals. What is that going to be? I'm going to, increase my income a certain amount, or I'm going to get start a new job, start a new business, and then I'm going to create the quest and the activities. So that's probably these first 3 steps of the 8 steps. We'll continue on this throughout the next few weeks. Every week is a different lesson, but you need to work on this. And again, I have the form, transformational commitment form. It's online on YouTube, it's on Facebook, and on our website. And go there and download that. And so these are the things that we're going to do. We're going to challenge you. There's more steps to come, looking at the villains, those things that hold you back, figuring out your power-ups, those things that get you going and keep you motivated, recruiting your allies. If you haven't done that, we're going to talk about how to do that. And then your secret identity, you can become what you think about. Think about who you want to become and then celebrate the victory. So these are the challenge steps. This is the format we're using in our community. Hope you will use this to continue to motivate you. And again, the process is community. We have a community called Financial Champion Academy, and you can learn more about it at financialchampion.net. But again, our community here is to learn together and work together, encourage each other on how to apply this content. Because it's easy to know, it's hard to implement. And I heard Howard Partridge, one of my mentors, he said, failure to implement. Failure to implement is the reason people don't succeed. So we're challenging you to do that. Your action steps, again, if you haven't done this, I want you to go back and download the transformational commitment form. It's on YouTube. Complete the form by selecting your purpose and do the steps that I did. Set an epic goal for your annual income. And we were talking about income here. You could put starting a business too if you want that as your goal. And think of the 3 quests you can create, the 3 milestones that you need to have in this challenge, and then you can help achieve that epic goal. So you need those milestones that are going to get you to the epic goal and get the action steps to the milestone. So it's a quest, like leadership, right? Okay, leadership's great. That's a general broad category. That's your quest. But then leadership of who? Yourself, of others. Those are the activities. Those are the tactics that you need to do. So leading yourself starts with that vision board, creating the vision board, maybe creating your, for leading yourself, creating this steps and your action steps, doing that. That's part of the leadership of yourself. But then you might have leadership and you have helping my team and leading my team, empowering them. So those are other action steps. So the quest is the general category. The action steps to reach that quest are going to be different for everything you're thinking about, like leading yourself, leading others. So that's what the quest and the action steps are. Last things, check out our resources, financialchampion.net for additional things, and subscribe to our newsletter. Just getting that going, financialchampion.net. And last thing is, we're going to make this our last weekend. Today is September 21st, 2024. and tomorrow is the 22nd. So tomorrow I will close the cart, and you won't be able to join our community anymore because I want to keep it small. But I'll still teach the lessons, and then we'll open the community again back in January of 2025. We'll open it back up for more members, and so I really hope you can join us last weekend. So tomorrow at I think 12 midnight, I'll put a 10 p.m. midnight or something like that, or 10 p.m. or 12 o'clock midnight. I'll close the cart. That means you will be able to go over there and put yourself on a waiting list, but it won't be until January that you can actually join the community. So again, just want to share my heart and want to say thank you for being here, part of this. I've really enjoyed this. And I want to just tell you again, thank you for being a part of this community, whether you're in the paid community or not. Just want to thank you for doing that. Thank you for your time. I want to see you increase your income. And I always like to say it to you, you are a financial champion.